Good afternoon. Today we will go for the anatomy of a brief anatomy of a small intestine. Yesterday last class we discussed about the anatomy of the duodenum. The small intestine is divided into mainly three parts: proximally duodenum, medially jejunum, and distally ileum. The small intestine continue as a duodenum, as a jejunum to continue as a ileum. Okay, today we will discuss about the anatomy of a jejunum and ileum. It is small intestine, also is say as a in brief word, and in generally say as a midgut. Okay, it is a tubular structure and most coiled structures of the of a GI tract. Okay, and now we can go for the anatomy of a jejunum and ileum. Okay, in general jejunum is situated in the upper left of the abdomen, and ileum is situated at the right lower abdomen. Okay, this is a jejunum. Okay, and this is a ileum. If you make a four quadrants, then it is present at the left upper quadrant jejunum and right lower quadrant. Okay, this is a ileum. In general we can say, okay, it is jejunum located at the upper and left of the abdomen, and ileum is situated at the lower and right of the abdomen. Okay, and it is the most coiled part of the GI tract. Okay, before that, a small intestine, it is divided into mainly three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Today we only last class we discussed the anatomy of a duodenum. Today we discuss about the anatomy of the jejunum and ileum. Okay, and jejunum start at the level of the L2 and at the duodenojejunal flexure. Okay, and this jejunum continue as a ileum. Then ileum is ends at the ileocecal junction at the right ilia fossa. Okay, and this is a tubular structure or tubular muscular tube of a GI tract. Okay, you can see here in this the small intestine is divided into duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Before that, we know the what is mean by the mesentery. Okay, we already studied the anatomy of a peritoneum. In that, I explained the what is mean by the mesentery. Okay, in general, mesentery means it is a Latin word. Okay, it divides as a meso and entron. Okay, or misentry. Okay, meso comes from the Greek. Okay, and then meso means mis or mesosos means middle or mid, and entron means intestine, or entry means entron. You say as a entron means intestine or gut. Okay, and mesentery means mid gut, middle gut, or mid intestine. Okay, in general I already explained mesentery is a fold of a peritoneum which attaches the small intestine to the posterior wall of the abdomen. Okay, mesentery, it is a peritoneal fold which attaches the intestine to the posterior wall of the abdomen. Okay, you can see here in this picture. Okay, this is a your intestine, and this is a visceral peritoneum, and this is a parietal peritoneum, and this peritoneum is inserted or inverted or insert and or in pouching and forms the folds. These folds are say as a peritoneal fold. If it is fold to the small intestine, then it is say as a mesentery. If it is fold to the large intestine, then it is say as a mesocolon. And contents of this mesentery is mainly blood vessels, arteries, vessels, lymph nodes, and mainly the fat. And this is the free border of this peritoneal fold, and this one free border, and this is the fixed part of the peritoneal fold or fixed part of the fold of the peritoneum, this one, and this is a free part. And where is the free part? There is the intestines or viscera are suspended. Okay, and this is a fixed part. Because of this folds, the intestine was movement of the intestine, or can say as a suspending of the intestine is because of the these folds. In this picture also you can say as a, this is a parietal peritoneum, and this is a visceral peritoneum, and this is a fold of the peritoneum. This fold of peritoneum, if it is in the small intestine to the small intestine, then it is as a mesentery. And these are, you can say, the contents of the mesenteries: blood vessels, fat, lymphatics or limbs. Okay, and this is mesentery. Is a mesentery, it is attached or it is a fold of the peritoneum to the small intestine. That's why it is say as a mesentery. Okay, and it is a how it is look like a fan shaped. Mesenteries look like a fan shape. You can see here, this is looking like a fan shape, and this is a free border. This towards the intestinal end of the mesentery, it is a free border of the peritoneum, and this is a narrow. You can see here, this is a narrow, this is a fixed part. Okay, fixed part, and this is how it is look like. It is a fan shaped, broad fan shaped. Okay, you can go for the, you can see here, this is the contents of the mesentery. Okay, in that, in short, mesentery is a fold of a peritoneum, and which our mesentery, it attaches the small intestine to the posterior wall of the abdomen. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Can you see in this picture? Okay, this is a root or attached part of the mesentery, and it is a free border of the part of the mesentery. And where it starts root of the mesentery, you can see here, this is a duodenojejunal flexure. It starts at the duodenum or third part of the duodenum, or at the jejunum starts from the where duodenojejunal flexure, and small intestine ends at the ileocecal junction. That same way, the mesentery or root of the mesentery or attached part of the mesentery or vertebral part of the mesentery, it is this one, and this is a free border or fixed part of the mesentery. It starts at the duodenojejunal junction and ends at the ileocecal junction. Then this duodenojejunal junction, it is at the level of the L2, and this ileocecal junction or root of the mesentery where it is ends, that is the sacroiliac joint, which right sacroiliac joint. It is so, or upper end of the or upper joint of the right sacroiliac joint, or upper border of the right sacroiliac joint, and here they are at the level of the L2. Okay, and you can see this is a nothing but a your mesentery, and this is a root, and this is a free border of the mesentery. Okay, can go for the next slide. Okay, in that mesentery, it is a nothing but a peritoneal fold, and how it is look, a broad fan shaped, and it suspends the jejunum and ileum from the posterior abdominal wall. And what is the function of the mesentery? It supports, and also it gives the convey the nutrients and invades the gut, and consists of two layers from the greater sac. Okay, you can go for the next slide. You can see I explained the mesentery is how it is. It is a fan shaped, broad fan shaped. Okay, and fold of peritoneum. Okay, in that, these are the coils of jejunum ileum are suspended, and this is the attached part. It is say as a, this is the posterior abdomen, this attached part or fixed part, or it is a root of the mesentery. Okay, can see here, this is a fan shaped, and this is, what are the, you can say, stripped, or what you seeing, this is a free border of the mesentery, and you have what you can see in this one, this is a fixed part of the mesentery, and free border is larger than the fixed part. This part is say as a root of mesentery, and this is a free part of the mesentery. Okay, and these are the coils. Okay, mesentery, it is a broad fan-shaped fold that suspends coils of jejunum, ileum from the posterior abdominal wall. And what is the breadth of the mesentery? The maximum breadth of the mesentery, you can see in the middle part. Okay, middle part of the breadth of the mesentery, it is 20 centimeter. Okay, in center, and it decreases or it is narrow at the towards the end. Towards the end means towards the root of the mesentery. Okay, can go for the next slide. Mesentery, mesentery, it has the two borders. One is attached border or fixed border or root of the mesentery. Okay, this is attached border. Okay, this is attached border. It is also said as a root of the mesentery or fixed part of the mesentery, or it is a vertebral part of the mesentery, and this is a free part of the mesentery where intestines are suspended or coiled. Okay, and this is a 15 root of the mesentery, length was a 15 centimeter, and free border of the mesentery, their length was a 6 meter. Okay, you can see here, this was the free border, this is the intestine, this is a free border, this is the folds of the peritoneum, and this was the which part of the peritoneum is covers the viscera, that part is as a visceral peritoneum. Then borders of mesentery, or vertebral border or attached border or fixed border or root of the mesentery. Then intestinal border, or which part of the mesentery is cover the intestine, that is as a intestinal border or free border. Okay, now how is the free border? Free border is frilled. Okay, you can see here, if you take any one curtain, in that this is a curtain, this is a fixed part, and this is a free part. In this free part is how it is looking, free part, it is a frilled. Okay, or you can say as a folded. Okay, frilled part, it look like a frilled. And how much it is length? This is the 20 feet long. Okay, or then it separates to the enclose the jejunum and ileum. Okay, and this part, okay, this frilled part, it covers the intestine and or suspends the intestine. Okay, in that you also see here in this picture. Okay, this is the fat distribution in the what mesentery. Okay, it is depend on jejunum also has a different fat distribution, and ileum also has the different fat distribution. And in this is a elongated, you can say as a branches or terminal branch of the artery. This elongated branches as a vasa recta, and which arteries are anastomosed to the each other, and it's are bended like a arch like anastomosis. These are say as a arcades, arterial arcades. In their arteries are anastomosis is as a, and their forms like a arch, or anastomosis are like a flex or flexions anatomy. These are say as a arcades. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Now we can say as a root of the mesentery. Last slide we discuss the or study the free border of the mesentery. Okay, now we can go for a root of mesentery. Why it is root? It is attached. Okay, where it is attached, or it is towards the vertebrae, that's why it is a vertebral. And it is from where to where it is attached? It is attached from the duodenojejunal flexure. You can see here, where to where attached? Duodenojejunal flexure to ileocecal junction. The jejunum ileum, where to where it is start? It is start from the duodenojejunal flexure, and ileum ends at the ileocecal junction, or at the level of the L2 and at the right sacroiliac joint. Okay, it is a attached border and downwards, and how it is moves or direction, it downwards towards the right side, and from duodenojejunal flexure at the level of the L2 and ends at the ileocecal junction at the upper end of the right sacroiliac joint. Okay, you can see here it starts at the duodenojejunal flexure at the level of the L2 and ends at the upper end of the right ileocecal junction. It is present at the upper end of the right sacroiliac joint. Then root of the mesentery. It is also say as a attached border, and length it is 6 inch in length. Okay. Then extends from the left side of L2 vertebrae to the or at duodenojejunal flexure. Okay, and ends at the right sacroiliac joint at the ileocecal junction. Okay, you can see here in this. Okay, and this is the root of the mesentery, and this is the free part of the mesentery. Here you can see the transparent section. It is as a window of the mesentery or windows of the mesentery or fat distribution. Okay, and these are the arteries, long elongated arteries as a vasa recta, and these are the arches. What you are seeing, this is a what you can say as a arcades. Okay, now root of the mesentery. You can see here in this one line you are seeing. Okay, from here to black line to here, where it is start at the duodenojejunal flexure. Okay, and which structure is come next? Then aorta, then inferior vena cava, then it will come. This is white color. This you can see. This is okay. This is a your ureter. Okay, then this is a muscle. Okay, this is a psoas major muscle, and this is a right sacroiliac joint. In this picture you can see as a this is a duodenum, and this is a root of the mesentery, and these are the what you can see. This is a we can say as a small intestine, and what you saying, these are the folds. Okay, these folds are say as a mesentery, and this is a free part of the mesentery. Okay, and this is a fixed part or attached part. It is attached towards the, these are the vertebrae. It is attached towards the vertebrae or towards the duodenum, and this part is say as a root of the mesentery. And root of the mesentery, where it starts at the level of the duodenojejunal flexure at the level of L2. Then third part of the posteriorly, what are the structures are there at the duodenal flexure? Third part of the duodenum, what you can say, this is a aorta. This is aorta, inferior vena cava. Then this is a right gonadal vessel. Okay, this is a right gonadal vessel. Then this is a your ureter. Then this is the psoas major muscle, and this is a right sacroiliac joint. You can go for the next slide. You can same this one, same picture. Okay, and this is the same picture. This is a what duodenojejunal flexure, third part of the duodenum. This is a aorta, inferior vena cava, right ureter, right psoas major muscle, and right sacroiliac joint. The structures crosses by the root of the mesentery. Which are the structures crosses by the, or which are the structures present posterior to the root of the mesentery? This is the beginning of the root of the mesentery at the level of the L2, and begins at the duodenojejunal flexure, ends at the ileocecal junction or right sacroiliac, upper border of right sacroiliac joint. Okay, and which are the structures are passing crosses by the root of the mesentery? First one is a third part of the duodenum or horizontal part of the duodenum. Then this is a aorta. Then this is a inferior vena cava. Then this is a gonadal vessel. Okay, then this is a psoas major muscle. Okay, then ileocecal junction. Okay, these are the structures crossed by the root of the mesentery. One is third part of the duodenum or duodenojejunal flexure, third part of the duodenum, or which are the structures present posterior to the root of the mesentery, that is duodenojejunal flexure, third part of the duodenum, aorta, inferior vena cava, gonadal vessels, right gonadal vessels, right psoas major muscle, then right ureter. Okay, these are all present, and right psoas major muscle. Okay, you can see here in this what are the structures are present. First is the third part of the duodenum. This was the third part of the duodenum. Then aorta, inferior vena cava, then right gonadal vessels, then ureter, this is the right ureter and this is the psoas major muscle, then this is the right sacro, you can see this is a sacrum and here it is as a iliac, okay, sacroiliac joint. Now contents of the mesentery. I already told contents of the mesentery in the during the explanation of the peritoneum. You will go for the briefly go for here. Okay, one is contents of the peritoneum, mainly blood vessels, fat, lymph nodes, okay, and nerves, okay. In here mesentery, it is mainly for the small intestine. In that only jejunum and ileum, superior mesenteric vessel, autonomic nerves, lymphatics, okay, and loose areolar tissue, and the main was the fat, okay. What is the contents of the mesentery? You can see here, this is a mesentery, okay, this is a superior mesenteric vein, artery, superior mesenteric vein, then this is a jejunum and ileum, and these are, you can see what are the nodular or rounded structures, these are the lymph nodes, and you can see the yellow color, this is a fat, okay, and the nerves. These are the contents of the mesentery. Now we can go for the very important feature, distribution of fat in the mesentery. By this only we can identify the where the jejunum was the start, where the jejunum was the ends, or by this only you can know the identification of the windows and blood supply, okay. In that jejunum and ileum, we can't differentiate by the external features, by these, okay. There is no any demarcation between the where it is end the jejunum, where it is start the ileum. By the help of these fats and by the help of the blood supply, by the help of a color, we can identify the where the jejunum was start and where the ileum was ends, okay, or where the ileum starts, okay. It is very important, okay. Distribution of fat most in the lower part, means this is your root of the mesentery. Here the fat was very much as compared to the free border of the intestine, okay. Fat is very much at the lower part of the mesentery, at the root of the mesentery, and free border it contains the very less compared to the where root of the mesentery, okay. And near the intestinal border you can see the oval or circular fat or lack of fat, okay, or this is a transparent, and that part is say as a window, okay. You can see here in this picture, okay. This is it's the intestine, okay. Here the towards the root or towards the fixed part their fat is very much, and towards the free part at the level of the intestinal border there is lack of fat, or near the intestinal border there is oval or circular fat less or fat free translucent area. That area is say as a window, okay, window. But as compared to the jejunum and ileum, in the windows are more in the jejunum, windows are less in the ileum. But this is say as a window near intestinal border, okay. And what is the difference between fat distribution? Fat distribution between ileum and jejunum. In towards the intestinal border, fat is very less in the jejunum and more in the ileum, okay. Because of that, because of blood supply, there is difference in the color also. It is dark red color, and in the ileum this is a little bit pink, because there is less blood supply compared to the jejunum, okay. We can go for the next slide. Jejunum, it is a proximal to the ileum, and this is a distal, and length of the jejunum it is 8 feet, and length of the ileum it is 10 feet, okay. And the diameter is wide because it has the plica circularis. I told these are the circular folds of the mucosa present in the duodenum also and in the jejunum also. These are more plica circularis, because of that it has a wide, and ileum is narrow, because as compared to jejunum these circular mucosal folds are very less. And you can see there in the arcades or arterial arcades. Okay, here arterial arcades are formed because of the anastomosis of the arteries, and arcades, arc means it is a arch or bending. Okay, these bends of the arteries or anastomosis are formed between the two arteries, and these are look like a arcades, or arc look like a arc, or look like a arches. These are say as arterial arcades. These are few and larger in the jejunum, and here is in the ileum these are more and they are smaller compared to the jejunum. And these are the vasa recta, long elongated arteries of the blood supply to the jejunum. These are long, okay, terminal branches. These are long, and here the these are say as a vasa recta. They are less in the ileum. We can go for the next slide. Okay, you can see here in the fat distribution in the, this is a jejunum. Here towards the end or towards the jejunum or towards the intestine there is very less fat distribution. Very less fat distribution. Very less fat distribution. Okay, and here it is a ileum. Here is a no any windows, or fat distribution is very rich, and here it is a translucent, okay, transparent. You can see here it is a transparent or oval or free fat. This is also mesentery. In there is free fat, and this is a say as a, these are say as a windows, and here this is as a windows are very less. Okay, and here vasa recta or terminal branch of the arteries are long. Okay, and here vasa rectas are very small in the ileum. Okay, this is the difference between fat distribution between jejunum and by this you can make out the where the jejunum is start and where the ileum is start. Okay, then next we can go for the relation of the mesentery. Okay, it is the right surface covers front and side ascending colon. During the anatomy of peritoneum I explained the paracolic gutters. Okay, in that it also has the right paracolic gutters. In left surface is covers front and side of the descending colon, left paracolic gutter. Above is pancreas and below is a sigmoid colon. Now you can go for the anatomy of the jejunum and ileum. Already I explained the location or position of the jejunum and ileum. Ileum, it is a right side and lower quadrant of the abdomen, or it is right ileum, it is present right side and lower and right side, and jejunum it is present at the left side and the upper. If you make the four quadrants, and it is present ileum towards the left side, left upper quadrant, and its ileum is present right lower quadrant. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Okay, jejunum is present where in the left upper abdomen, and ileum is present lower and right side of the abdomen. Now we can go for the difference between the jejunum and ileum. You can see, make out in the picture also. Jejunum, it is a shorter, okay, and it is present proximal. I already explained the length of the jejunum. Okay, and ileum, it is longer and it is present distal of the small intestine. And jejunum, it is wider. It is wide because it contains the more plica circularis, and these plica circularis are nothing but the mucosal fold, circular mucosal folds, and these are present very nearer and more present in the jejunum. Because of that jejunum is wider, and ileum, it is a narrow because there is a very less plica circularis, and there is very distance is more between the 2 plica circularis. Okay, wall, how it is wall? This is thicker because of the more plica circularis, and wall here in ileum is thinner. And appearance, how it is looks, we can't demarcation between the jejunum where it is ends and ileum where it is start. Because of their appearance only we can make out there. Because of that jejunum has a dark red because it has a more vascularity, has a more blood supply, and it is a ileum, it is light red, or it is a look like a pink color because it is less vascular. Okay, and vessels in the jejunum or in the mesentery, they are very high and very less arcades. Okay, in this picture also you can make out arcades are very less, and these arcades are bigger than the ileum arcades. Okay, and here ileum there is low, these are small in size, and but these arcades are more in the ileum. Okay, and here long terminal branches, or you can say as a long vasa recta, these are the long terminal arterial branches. Okay, these are say as a vasa recta, and here is very small terminal vasa rectas. These are arcades. Arcades are very less in number, but they are bigger in size. Here arcades are more in number but smaller in size. Arcades are nothing but there is anastomosis between the arteries, and they look like a arc or look like a arch, or they are bended, or they look like a square. So this is a arterial arcades. Okay, and color, this is the jejunum look like a which color? Dark red color, and this is look like a pink. Fat distribution in the towards the jejunum or towards the intestinal border, there is more windows, and here less windows, or more fat towards the what? Ileum. Okay, mesenteric fat. Okay, small amount and near the to the intestinal border, and ileum there is large amount of fat and near close to the intestinal border, and lymphatic tissues are few aggregation and numerous aggregation in the Pear's patches. You can see here in this. Okay, this is the difference between jejunum and ileum. We are easily make out. First, these are long elongated terminal branches of arteries. They are say as a vasa recta. These vasa rectas are long in the jejunum, and these are the anastomosis of the arteries, and they are look like a arc or look like a arches. These are say as a arterial arches. Okay, these are very less in number, but bigger in size in the jejunum. In the ileum, their arcades are very less in size but more in number. Here vasa recta are short than the jejunum. Here vasa recta are short. And then wall, there is thick wall. Here ileum has a thin wall. Why it is thick wall? It has a more plica circularis. There is thin wall because there are less plica circularis. Jejunum is wider, ileum is narrower or thinner. Okay. Okay, and now this is look like a dark red in color. It is look like a pink or little bit light red in color. Okay, in here yes, in this jejunum has a plica circularis or mucosal folds. They are circular folds of the mucosa. They are larger and closely set each other. Okay, but in the ileum there are circular folds are shorter, and their separates or distance is very far as compared to the what? Jejunum. And there are lymphatic vessels, solitary lymph nodes are there in the here. The Pear patches are there in the jejunum. Okay, we can go for the next slide. The difference between the jejunum and according to location, jejunum is present upper and left side and of the abdomen. Ileum present in lower and right side of the abdomen. Walls thicker and more vascular, thinner and less vascular. Lumen are wide and often empty. They are narrow and often loaded. Mesentery, fat is less abundant, means more windows are present, but fat are more and abundant, less windows are present. Arterial arteries are 1 or 2 as compared to the ileum. There are 4 to 5. Vasa rectas are long and fewer. Vasa rectas are short and numerous. Plica circularis are larger, bigger and more closely set, small and sparse. Villi are nothing but finger-like projections of the small mucosal fold. Okay, they are large, thicker and abundant. In that, short, thin and less abundant. Pairs passages are absent in the jejunum. Ileum, it has the pairs passages are present. Because of that, they are ulcerate. Okay, in the typhoid fever. Solitary lymphoid vessels are fewer. Here the ileum are numerous. Now, how you identify the jejunum, start of the jejunum? Here is one, there is by the suspended ligament, suspensory ligament of a tris, or it also says a suspensory muscles of the duodenum. Okay, this is also says a ligamentum of a tris. By the identification of the ligamentum of tris, we identify the jejunum. In last class anatomy of the duodenum, I told you why the duodenal fracture is formed, because of the attachment of the ligamentum of tris. The ligamentum of tris, it attached by the upper end. It has two ends. One is the upper end and this is a lower end. Upper end is attached or originates from the right crus of the diaphragm. Okay, this is the muscles or crus of the diaphragm. This is the left crus and this is the right crus, and ligamentum teres originate from the right crus of the diaphragm, and lower end of the suspensory muscles of the duodenum or ligamentum of the tris, and it is lower end attached to the posterior surface of the duodenojejunal flexure. Because of that, this flexion or curvature or is formed because of the attachment of this ligamentum of tris. The applied anatomy of this ligamentum of tris is, if it is main function is it fixes the duodenojejunal flexure. Okay, and it forms, okay, forms a being draping, okay, or dragging. Okay, if there is, you can already say that ileum is loaded. Because of that weight, what happened, this if it is not work properly, muscle is not attached, the duodenojejunal flexure was, because of weight, it was drag. Okay, because of this is a fixation of duodenojejunal flexure is happened or formed because of this attachment of a suspensory muscle. Okay, the main function of the suspensory muscle of duodenum is fix the duodenojejunal flexure, and it prevents it dragging down of small intestine, means jejunum. Okay, because of the weight. Okay, applied anatomy, if it is contract this muscle, then what happen, there is a increase the angle of the duodenojejunal flexure. Because of that, what happened, obstruction of the intestine was happen. Okay, and another further contraction of this muscle or suspensory ligamentum tris happen, there is partial obstruction of the small intestine or gut was happened. Another one is applied anatomy is the identification of a jejunum by this identity during the surgery or anything, to identify this suspensory ligament of teres. By that we identify the jejunum. By during the gastrojejunostomy, we can cut or we can make out the identification of the jejunum by this ligament. Can go for the next slide. Now we can go for the jejunum. Okay, you already told jejunum, ileum are the tube-like structure or coil-like of a GI tract. Okay, jejunum is a midsection of the small intestine connecting the duodenum to the ileum. It is about 2.5 meter long, contain the plica circularis and villi that increase its surface area. Products of digestion, mainly sugar, amino acids and fatty acids, are absorbed into the bloodstream here. The suspensory muscle of duodenum marks the division between the duodenum and the jejunum. The ileum, the final section of the small intestine, it is about 3 meter in long and contain villi similar to the jejunum. It absorbs many vitamins, B12 and bile acids as well as any other remaining nutrients. The ileum joins to the cecum of the large intestine at the ileocecal junction. Now we can go for the histology of the small intestine. I already told the during the anatomy of the duodenum, it is mainly divides into or has the layers as a serosal layer, muscular layer and mucosal layer. Okay, serosal layer, it is outer coat and is covered by the peritoneum. Muscular coat, there is one is circular and another one is longitudinal. Submucosal coat and mucosal coat. Serosa is made up of peritoneum. Muscular is made up of smooth muscles fibers arranged in the outer is longitudinal and inner is a circular. Submucosa, it contains the loose connective tissue and large venous plexus. Submucosa of duodenum contains the duodenal or Bernard's glands. In the jejunum and ileum, it contains the Peyer's patches or intestinal glands. Okay. In intestine, it is jejunum. In ileum, it contains the intestinal glands. Mucosa composed of layer of epithelium, lamina propria, and muscularis mucosa. If the mucosa has a circular folds, that is as a plica circularis. Okay, and it has the Peyer's patches present in the ileum. Peyer's patches absent in the jejunum. Can see in this picture, this is a mucosal folds. This fold is as a plica circularis and finger like projections of a mucosa you can say as a villi. Okay, and this is the outer layer. This is a serosa covered by the peritoneum, and these are the muscular layer. Outer is circular and inner is a longitudinal, and this is a submucosal layer, submucosal part. It contains the more blood vessels. Okay, and this is the mucosal part, and this submucosal contains the lymphatic vessels. Okay, outer is a longitudinal muscle, inner is circular muscle. Okay, and it is contains the mucosa and submucosa. It contains the intestinal glands or lymphoid nodules. The intestinal villi, these are nothing but the finger-like projections of the mucosa. The intestinal villi are finger-like projections of mucosa membrane just visible to the naked eyes. They give the surface of intestinal mucosa a vaulty appearance. They are large and numerous in the duodenum and jejunum, but are smaller and fewer in the ileum. They are vary in density from 10 to 14 per square millimeter and above the 1 to 2 mm. Intestinal glands is also say as a crypts of Lieberkühn. These are a simple tubular gland distributed over the entire mucosa membrane of the jejunum and ileum. They open by small circular apparatus on the surface of mucous membrane between the villi. They secrete the digestive enzymes and mucosa. Lymphoid follicles, in that mainly two types. One, solitary lymphoid follicles are more in the jejunum, and aggregated lymphoid follicles are also say as a Peyer's patches. They are more in the ileum. The Peyer's patches are ulcerated in the typhoid period, forming over ulcer with their long axis along the long axis of the bowel. Now we can go for the blood supply of the small intestine in that jejunum and ileum. I already told the blood supply in general. It is divides into three parts: foregut, midgut, and hindgut. Most of part of the foregut is supplied by the celiac trunk. Midduct gut, midgut is mainly by the what? Superior mesenteric artery. Okay, and hindgut mainly by the inferior mesenteric artery. Okay, according to that, the blood supply, the whole part of the small intestine means mainly by the jejunum ileum is mainly supplied by the superior mesenteric artery. Okay, in this also, this is the aorta. Okay, it is the anterior branch of the aorta, second anterior branch of aorta. It is a superior mesenteric artery. Okay, and it has the, and you can see the jejunum here, the vasa rectas are more but longer in size. Okay, here arcades are bigger and larger in size and very less in number. Here vasa rectas are short and arcades are more in number. Okay, and less in number, more in number and lesser in size. Okay, can say this is a, can see this is all blood supply of the superior branches of the superior mesenteric artery, and these are all, see, these are arcades or arches like anastomosis of the superior mesenteric arteries. You can, branches of superior mesenteric arteries, they say as arcades, and terminal branches, long terminal branches of the superior mesenteric arteries, they say as a vasa recta. Okay, you can see here in this also. Can go for the next slide. The superior mesenteric artery, it has mainly the 4 branches. First is the jejunal-ileal branches. Second one is the middle colic artery, and this is third one is the right colic artery, and this is the ileocecal artery. This is the superior mesenteric artery. First branches or more branches are jejunal-ileal branches. Second, you can say as a mid colic artery. This is the right colic artery, and this is the ileocecal artery. Ileocecal artery further gives the branches to the appendix, like appendicular artery, iliac artery, like that. Okay, the origin, where it is the superior mesenteric artery is origin, with origin front of aorta or anterior to the anterior branches of the aorta. It is 1 centimeter below the celiac trunk. Okay, and superior mesenteric artery is mainly give the jejunal-ileal branches, middle colic artery, right colic artery, ileocecal artery. Okay, and then appendicular artery, like that. Now venous drainage by the inferior mesenteric vein, and inferior mesenteric drain into the portal vein. Portal vein to the inferior vena cava. Same as a superior mesenteric artery, the jejunum and ileum are drained by the superior mesenteric vein. Then lymphatics by the mesenteric lymph nodes, mesenteric lymph nodes to celiac trunk lymph nodes, celiac trunk lymph nodes to cisterna chyli. The ileum and jejunum arterial supply by the superior mesenteric artery. Intestinal branches arise from the left side of the artery and runs in mesentery to reach the gut. They anastomose with one another to form a series of arcades. Okay, the lower part of ileum is supplied by the ileocecal artery. The venous drainage is same as veins correspond to branches of superior mesenteric artery and drain into the mesenteric vein. Okay, now we can go for the applied anatomy of the small intestine. In that there is volvulus, because more rotation of the small intestine and it's rotate and from struck and forms the obstruction, that is say as a volvulus. Then another one is intersubstation, means upper or proximal end of the intestine it is herniated or prolapse or into the distal end of the intestine, and that form the obstruction, and like that how it is pipe in the another one pipe. Okay, by that it is obstructs and forms the obstruction, that is intersubstation. Okay, you can see like this. Okay, this is a this is a proximal end of the intestine, this is the distal end, and this is herniated or it is go inside the distal end. okay, or it is go inside distal, and by that there is obstruction as occur, and this is say as a intersusception. Then another is Meckel's diverticulum of a small intestine, means outpouching of a small intestines or all the layers of the small intestine. This is say as a Meckel's diverticulum. These Meckel's diverticle most of time forms the bands, okay, or adhesions, and that also cause the intestinal obstruction, kinking of the small intestines. Then appendix, it causes the appendicitis, okay, like that I can say as a. And obstructions, it there two, one is mechanical obstruction, non-mechanical obstruction, internal obstruction, in the wall obstruction, or outer walls wall of the obstruction, like that obstructions are there. Thank you very much. Okay.